Monday, we got an 01 540 Orient Blue. What are we doing, Mike?
Master cylinder and brake booster.
And brake fluid reservoir. Look at all that crap down there. Did you take off that cover that goes here?
No.
Wow, so that's what that is.
I think it's all disintegrated.
It is totally disintegrated. And we're gonna replace that because that's gonna keep water and debris out of this area. And yeah, so this little, what, 8 mil, 10 mil right here, that's what holds that on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's just crumbled. Holy cow. All right, well, I got some of those somewhere. It's just a matter of finding them. It's not mine. We got another Silverstone back. Mine's over here. I'm driving the E60 tonight because I want to pick up a friend from the airport tomorrow in it who hasn't seen that car in a very long time. But this is the 2000 Silverstone with the blue. We can't see it, the Le Mans blue interior. Dropped it off the other day. Customer states there's a leak, an oil leak. So that's annoying. We've already resealed the valve cover gaskets. I don't think it's that. I actually think it is, where do they put them in here? I think it's these cam sensors. The O-rings on there are pretty squared off. Not terribly hard, but not very round anymore. And the oil had gotten well past there. Now the question is, did it get past there because it's leaking past that O-ring or because it's dripping down from the valve cover? The valve cover gasket looks pretty good. The elbows are seated well, or the little half moons are seated well, and those cutouts in the back of the head. I don't think the problem is there. I think the problem's in those O-rings, because when I got the bolts out, the sensors just popped right out. Like you didn't have to pull them. There was no pop. There was no suction. I should say they kind of just fell right out. So we're going to replace those. That's cylinder bank 1, not terrible to get to. Cylinder bank 2, beyond the terrible to get to. So I think I'm going to recommend we spray down that whole area, clean the hell out of it, have him drive the car for a few hundred miles, bring it back, we'll inspect. Do we have a leaking valve cover gasket? Do we have a leaking cam sensor O-ring or cam sensor O-rings? That's where we're going there. Earlier today, you saw the Orient Blue 540. The brake pedal was not rebounding. You'd press the brakes down, they would stay on. You had to use your left foot to get back behind the pedal and push the pedal back out. He's been driving it like that on public roads. I would not be dealing with that. So today, he stopped by last week. His other mechanic's busy. It was kind of an opportunity to meet a new guy and potentially get and retain a new client. Super nice guy. He's had the car a long time. It had nav, which is pretty cool for a 540. Not a lot of 540s had nav. No parking sensors, no foldy seats, no sunshades, but navigation, sand base interior, whatever, 197,800 miles. My initial diagnosis was the brake booster. His other guy thought it was the master cylinder. His fluid reservoir looked really nasty. So my recommendation was, let's go in and replace all of it. And we want to use the E65 740, well, all of them, E65 master cylinder. So he approved all that. We replaced everything today. The old brake booster, let me show you a video of that over the sink. Yeah, so full of water. And as you saw in one of the earlier clips today, we took out the lower cabin box and there's supposed to be a little tray in there, and his had just turned to dust and totally fallen apart down in there. So that's not good, though not the complete culprit. But we replaced that tray, everything in there, the fittings, the hose clamps, used the M10 to M12 adapter, or M12 to M10, whatever, from Summit Racing. Brakes feel great, bled the whole system out. Customer's happy. So that car's done. This car, the black 03, is pretty much done. Test drove it today, reset the tire pressure. We had 53 pounds in the front tires. Like, who filled those? So I adjusted that, put them to 36. I run 36, 38, or maybe 35, 38 on, I think that's what I have on my car. 36 is fine too. Went out for a test drive, reset the TPMS, checked for codes, checked the fluids. There's still room for improvement on this car, but we've surpassed the client's budget, and I think he wants to get it back, and we'll probably see it again in the future and do another round. So for now, it's a much happier M5 than when it came in. This guy goes to the detail on Wednesday. In the meantime, it's chilling. My car, after driving it all weekend and parking outside a little bit over the weekend, got a nice bath today just in my pockets of free time, just a normal wipe down. The red car, the Vanos board came back. I put that in. I sealed it up. I got everything connected. Starts and runs beautifully. No more codes. No more idle stumble. So it turned out to be one of the intake solenoids was clicking and not, what's it supposed to do? Open or something like that? I don't understand solenoids. Relays, another thing I don't really understand. Some sort of a mechanical micro switch. That's weird. Anyways, this is now just pending the gasket up here for the driver's side, which is NLA. I have to rob one of mine when I have time. And then the headlights, which still have not shipped from Denmark. So they're in production, I hear. And then the 530s. The 530s are kind of filler right now. He's not in a huge hurry for the cars. This one clearly needs a mirror cap that I fear I'm going to have to buy new. I couldn't find any at the junkyard over the weekend. We got to do seat twist. We got to get them up in the air. We got to do the usual glass gaskets and stuff like that. Probably seat twist, and I think both of them. The other one's out back still. So anyways, I'm going to go do some mail and write some more service work. Talk to you guys tonight. It's Monday night, I think. It kind of feels like Tuesday with as much as we packed into today. So I left the shop somewhere around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I got home, cleaned up the bathroom upstairs. Guests are coming in. I always do a complete sweep over everything, which reminds me I need to move the floor mats. Car guy talking about how stuff, bathroom mats, they're floor mats, right? You put them on the floor in front of the sink and one around the toilet. They get washed about every 2 weeks, maybe sometimes it's 3, but I try not to piss on the floor. At least not very often. Anyways, did a deep clean of the bathroom. That ended up doing some windows, cleaning stuff downstairs. Come on. I've got car wash towels to wash tonight. They all have to be done together except for the wheel towels. They are done separately. It's a whole thing. So in the meantime, I already gave you the update today on the shop and everything that happened there. It's going to be a truncated kind of remainder of the week. Just as guests come into town, as my dad and Michael leave town for a couple days. They've got some travels coming up. Let's see, we want to do delicates, eco warm, play. Yeah, they use a play pause button now. Talk about getting the attention of millennials. Anyways, E60 was a pleasure on the way home. Sometimes it's fun to drive that car in a more spirited manner as that's what it's better at. Sometimes it's also fun to just put cruise at 80 and just buzz on home in the right lane and put on the chill station on Sirius. And that was tonight, just a nice, relaxing drive home in a car that can do that really well too. Kind of the worst part of that is the muffler delete. It's just really loud and buzzy even at 80 miles an hour. Anyways, sent out taxes today. That was miserable. That is about all I know. I'm gonna get some sleep. Gotta get up in a couple hours. It's a late one. Talk tomorrow. Good night.